So we're still working on Chapter 5 review, and we are beginning with problem number 10. So this is on page 2, so if you're printed front to back, it'd be on the back of the front page. Page 2 starting with problem number 10. And what we're doing here is simplifying. So we're just trying to see if anything will cancel out. So the first thing I noticed is I have this log base 4. So if I can write 64 in terms of the power of 4, then the log base 4 and the 4 will cancel out and just leave whatever that exponent is. So I'm going to rewrite log base 4, and I'm going to write 64 in terms of 4. Because I know that 64 is 4 to the third power. So I would put 4 to the third, and then I have to remember it's multiplied by that x. That's where the x comes from. Now log base 4, 4 cancels out. My answer is just 3x. Next one, this one's already set up right. So it's 6 to the power of log base 6, which they just cancel out. The 6 and the log 6 just cancels out, so you just get x minus 3. And that's your answer there. This one, log base b of 1, well, anytime you take the log of 1, you're just going to get 0 for an answer. Another way you could think of it would be to change it to exponential form. B equals some number, so raised to some number would give me 1. Well, the only way that would happen is if that number is 0. So the power would be 0. So the log any base of 1 is just going to be 0. This one you should recognize, but log base b would cancel out b, whatever it was, to just 1. So your answer is just 1. This one I've got to change to a power of 5. So I'm going to look at log base 5. Now I want to change 1 over 25 to a power of 5. And I know that 5 squared is 25, but I want 1 over 25. So if I make that a negative 2, then it flips it down to the bottom. So 5 to the negative 2 is what 125 is equal to. Now it's awesome. Log base 5 and 5 cancels out, and the answer is just negative 2. Last one, same thing. We're going to change them so that they have log base 2. I'm going to rewrite 32, so it's a power of 2, which 2 to the 5th is 32. So the log base 2 and the 2 cancels out, and the answer is just 5. Number 11, we're just going to pick the graph that goes with this equation. So if you notice, log base 4, well, that's not really going to change my equation much. But this minus 3 is going to make it shift to the right 3 units. And this plus 5 is going to make it shift up 5. So if we notice on this one right here, shifting 3 units to the right, 1, 2, 3, and up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Normally it would have crossed the y-axis right there, but now it's been shifted up 5. So this graph fits this transformation graph. Number 12, we're going to again look at the asymptote, domain, range, and transformations, only this time we're looking at log functions. So I'm going to start with the domain and range again. You note that on a log function, the domain is the one that's limited. Usually the domain goes from 0 to infinity, and the range is the one that's just all reals. So I'm just going to write that down because I know the range is going to be all reals. But here, the domain, how is that affected by this equation right here? Well, the equation makes it go to the right 3 and up 5. Well, moving it to the right, if you look at these log equations, moving it to the right does change the domain. Instead of going from 0 to infinity, Now it goes from 3 to infinity because it's been shifted right 3 units. So the domain was changed. It was shifted right 3. Then let's look at, the transformations I forgot to write down. So the first transformation is right 3, and then up 5. Now logs have a vertical asymptote. If you think about this graph up here, has a vertical asymptote right there. So when you shifted it right 3, you took that vertical asymptote that would have been x equals 0, and it was shifted right 3 also. Another way, if you look at this number right here, 3 is how much it was shifted, and because it's the domain's all values of x equals 3. That's where you can get that asymptote from. So now let's look at B. B, this is reflected across the x-axis, so that's the first transformation. So I'm going to write that down. Reflect across the x-axis. And then that minus 3 at the end also means that it's been shifted down 3. So let's look at the domain. The domain, just because it was shifted across the x-axis, that's not going to do anything to the domain. It's going to flip it down. So the domain is still going to go from 0 to infinity. So the domain is not affected by the transformation. The range is not affected either because it's a log function and the range is all reals. And this also still has a vertical asymptote at x equals 0, and you can get that from this information up here. 0, and because it's the domain, it's x equals 0. Part C, this one has been shifted left 2 because of that plus 2 to the x. So left 2 and then up 1. Okay, there we go. Up 1. So when you look at the domain, because the domain is affected by it and the domain was restricted, instead of going from 0 to infinity, now it goes from -2 to infinity. The range is not affected, it's still all reals. But now the vertical asymptote is x equals -2. Number 13, we are expanding the logarithmic expression. So we're going to use all the properties of logarithms to expand it out. And when you look right here, you notice there's a lot going on. We've got 16 times x to the 5th, and then we have this y squared being divided into it. Well, I'm going to break apart the division problem first. So I'm going to start with log base 4 of 16x to the 5th minus log base 4 of y squared. Now, I'm going to do this in one step, so hopefully you'll understand this. Instead of writing y squared, expanded form says I take the exponent and put it out in front. So I'm going to do that right now. Now I'm going to break apart this 16x to the 5th. Since these are being multiplied together, then I know that I'm going to add them. So I have log base 4 of 16 plus log base 4 of x, but it's x to the 5th, so I'm going to go ahead and take that 5 and put it out in front. And then I still have this minus 2 log base 4 of y. All right, next one, I've got division going on also, so I'm going to write log. And this is log base 10, so I don't need to write the base of 5 minus log of 3x squared. Now this log of 5 doesn't do anything. I can't expand it anymore. So I'm just going to bring it along. So I have log of 5. But then this 3x squared, I have minus, and I'm going to put it in parentheses because the whole thing is being divided on the bottom. So I have to put in parentheses. I break it apart into log x squared. I'm going to put the 2 in front to simplify that right now. Now, when I get rid of the parentheses here, the answer is just log of 5 minus log of 3 minus, because I'm distributing that negative, 2 log x. And that is the final answer for that question. Okay, this one, same starting out, got some division going on, got a lot of multiplication happening too. This one is a natural log, so we'll just be doing ln of 3x squared y minus ln of b cubed. And, oh, I got to take that 3 and put it out in front. Then I'm going to break apart this. I've got a 3 times an x squared times a y. So I'm just going to write it all out. I have natural log of 3 plus the natural log of x squared. Let's put the 2 out in front. Plus the natural log of y minus 3 natural log of b. And that's the final answer. Okay, now we're going to write the following logarithm expressions as a single logarithm, or in other words, condensing. So all this we did up here in 13 through 15, we're doing the opposite down here. So the first thing I notice, these are being subtracted, so that means I'm going to divide them. I should also check to make sure they all have the same base, which they do. They're both log base 4, 32 divided by 2. Now, because these are both just numbers, they can simplify. So we would change that to log base 4, 32 divided by 2 is 16. And then that's condensed and simplified. Number 17, we've got a plus and a plus, so that means the 7, the x, and the y squared are all going to be multiplied together. So I'm going to do this in one step. We have log of 7 times x times y squared. And this, broken apart, would look like this. This one, I have a plus and then a minus, so that tells me the 5x and the y are going to be multiplied together, and then that whole thing is going to be divided by the z. So I have natural log of 5x times y divided by z. And the last one, notice this one I have a minus and a minus, which is kind of the same thing that happened up here in 14. So that means this is being divided, and this one is also being divided. I've got a power going on here, so when I transform it back into a log, I'm going to go ahead and make it back into a power. X cubed divided by y and z. And that's how you do 19.